This is the biggest rabbit farm in the world. Have you ever visited a rabbit farm? Or do you know the concept of it? Which place has the biggest rabbit farm? Do you have any ideas? As a side note, rabbits are mammals that belong to the family Lobster and play a role that is in some ways useful. Rabbits are basically other animals' favorite food. This creature can be rather amusing and endearing at times. This animal is not only adorable, but also useful because it provides us with protein. Rabbit is a popular meat choice for some. Rabbits have a history of being difficult to domesticate due to their wild origins. Rabbits can be used for food, but they are primarily kept as pets because of their cute appearance. Taxonomically, rabbits can be broken down into numerous different orders, as described by the study of biology. In the order Lagomorpha, the family Leporidae, and the subfamily Leporine lepus or Rictigalus, and their respective species. Rabbits typically breed via vivipary. It used to be a wild mammal that spanned the continents of Africa and mainland Europe. The word rabbit itself, it has its origins in the Dutch language. As the history of life and Earth unfolds, mankind has nurtured and raised an ever-expanding variety of rabbits. The American chinchilla, Angora, Belgian, Californian, Dutch, English spot, Flemish giant, Havana, Himalayan, New Zealand red, white, and black, and the American Rex are all examples of common rabbit breeds, with the New Zealand white and the Californian varieties of rabbits two of the greatest species to raise for their meat. Now let's talk about rabbit farming, but what exactly does that entail? Breeding and raising domestic rabbits as livestock for their meat, fur, or wool is known as rabbit farming or cuniculture. Rabbit breeders and amateurs engage in this method to create and improve new varieties of rabbits. Did you know that rabbits are one of the alternative livestock that has considerable potential to increase the variety of animal protein sources for human consumption beyond beef and chicken? The FAO statistical database shows that in 2019, the global production of rabbit meat amounted to 883,936 tons. Even though that number is lower than 2018's output data, it still represents a sizable future opportunity. By the way, do you know about the countries that have the biggest farms in the world? Well, if not, we're here to discuss. The first country having the biggest rabbit farm is China. The FAO statistical database shows that in 2019, the country of China produced 457,765 tons of rabbit meat. Still, China has surpassed all other countries as the world's leading producer of rabbit meat thanks to this output. In China, numerous regions account for the vast majority of the country's rabbit meat output due to their advantageous geographic locations. About 26% of China's total national rabbit meat production comes from the province of Shandong. Another 16% comes from the province of Hebei, and another 20% comes from the province of Sichuan. In addition to producing much of the world's rabbit meat, China also sells a portion of it to several countries around the world, with many of the shipments ultimately ended up in various European countries. Second, we have North Korea. This year, North Korea has risen to become the world's second largest producer of rabbit meat. Rabbit meat is widely used as a source of protein for the local population. Since at least the 1970s, the government of North Korea has mandated that each student in public schools maintain a minimum of 2 bunnies. Information from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations indicates that in 2019, Kim Jong-un's home country produced 166,879 tons of rabbit meat. The next country on our list is Egypt. Egypt, a country in Africa, ranks third in the world in terms of rabbit meat output. 90% of the country's rabbit population and rabbit production is concentrated in rural areas. Small farmers there account for the majority of the production. And according to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the UN, the total number of rabbits slaughtered in Gamal Abdel Nasser's home nation was 44,893 tons. In fourth place, we have Italy. When it comes to EU member states, Italy's among the top producers of rabbit meat in the world. According to the FAO statistical database, this pizza-loving country produced 26,647 tons of rabbit meat in 2019. Hypeless, Gremode, Hyla, and Martini are only a few of the hybrid rabbits created in this country specifically for human use. And the last one on our list is Russia. In Eastern Europe, Russia is fifth in the world in terms of rabbit meat output. Again, according to the statistical database of the FAO, the Red Bear country produced 17,948 tons of rabbit meat. Despite a relatively high rate of production, rabbit meat's nevertheless imported into the country. A lack of domestic production and high domestic demand meant that Russia imported 455 tons of rabbit meat from abroad in 2019. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.